Hey friends, what's up? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. Clone fragrances, they just never stop coming. And it's right there in the name, right? Clone fragrances. It's just like in Star Wars, right? Clone troopers, they just keep popping those bad boys out. That's the exact same way the clone fragrances are made.
My lord.
Stormtrooper, Stormtrooper.
My lord.
Stormtrooper, Stormtrooper.
See, a lot of people don't know this, but you take the original fragrance, you pop that bad boy into a cloninator, okay, that's what it's called, this is a scientific term. You just do a couple buttons or something, the dials, you throw in some like sugar, Coca-Cola, I don't know, magic, alchemy. You press the button, the clones, they just started coming.
That was easy.
That's why there are so many of them. So many, in fact, that I own hundreds of them. And today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys some of the best clones that I own out of those many fragrances that continue to replicate like rabbits left to their own devices. You think clone fragrances are slowing down anytime soon? I don't think so. There's like 70 of those coming out every week, buddy. It's a lot.
My lord.
Uh-huh.
My lord.
Yo.
My lord.
Imagine paying child support on all those. Why would you pay child support on fragrances? I got no clue. All the scents I talked to you guys about here today are gonna be linked in the description below. Let's jump straight into it, starting off with a 2-for-1. These are both from Armaf, part of their new Lions Club, and they are Feroce and Rougir. I think you're supposed to be, yeah, like that. And it's funny when I see the name Lions Club, the first thing I think of is not actually fragrances, but it is the Lions Club that you can find all over the US. They do things for their local neighborhood, all kinds of stuff like that, but you guys know, right, if you're in the US? The Lions Club, right? Well, this is the new Lions Club, baby. That old one, no thank you. A service club trying to better its community? No thank you, bro. How about some Middle Eastern fragrances? It's way better for the community, homie. That's not true, Lions Club, shout out to you. But yeah, these are new fragrance releases from Armaf. I bought these from JOMASHOP like beginning of December, and it took a month and a half to get to me. But to be fair, as I've mentioned before, when you buy something on JOMASHOP, it does say like how long they anticipate it'll be before they ship it, and it did say a while. I just hoped it wouldn't take that long, but it did. And I actually bought a third one called Monarch, which hasn't arrived yet. So whenever that one comes, I guess I'll see how that one is. Now, these are both clones of Parfums de Marly releases. And with me telling you that and you looking at the color schemes of these bottles, you probably already know what they are. So Feroce right here, this one is HALTANE. And then Rougir over here, this is LAYTON. And I gotta say, they are really good. Got an interesting bottle style. As you can see, there's like this leather strap, right? And it kind of comes around to the front and it's supposed to magnetically attach right here. So you basically just have a leather strap going over. They're pretty sturdy, guys. They're pretty sturdy. But you have a leather strap just going over where the atomizer is, right here. And if you don't get it in there just right, it'll kind of come unattached. So you do want to try to get that like right on there. It essentially looks like a little stud that you have on your blue jeans. And it is a little iffy. There we go. Trying to get it in there. It looks good though, very heavy in the hand. As you saw there, quite sturdy. If you have butterfingers and you drop it onto another bottle, you're okay. It's also a little weird where you spray because the strap is right there in the middle. So you kind of just have to like do this, kind of flip that out of the way and then you can go ahead and spray it. So the quality here really high in terms of the presentation, also how it smells, just a little quirky. This is an absolutely fantastic alternative to HALTANE, but really LAYTON is the one that everybody and their mom has an alternative to, right? And this one also fantastic. Smells great, very warm, spicy, of course, very sexy, appealing, versatile. It has almost like a spicy sort of, I don't know if I want to say pastry, but sort of like this baked good, sweet, spicy aspect. Still very much LAYTON, but with an additional little lean toward that side of things with this one when you first spray it on. So these two I just kind of bundled up together since they're both from the same line. They're both clones of the same house. They're both equal in terms of quality and everything else. Really, really good stuff. So if you can get your hands on these for a good price, absolutely worth scooping up. I paid $35 each. Before we head to the next fragrance, guys, here's some codes you can use to save money on a bunch of clone fragrances. The JOMASHOP codes only work within the JOMASHOP app, which when I purchased these, I used one of my own codes. Also got codes for Max Aroma, Fragflex, the Perfume Box, Triple Traders, so you can find clone fragrances across all those different sites. And then there are other websites here as well. I'll be super quick with the next one because it's one I've talked about a lot. It is Liquid Brun from French Avenue, which is Fragrance World, and that is a clone of ALTHAIR. And as I understand it, the Armaf that I don't have in yet, the Monarch from Lions Club, is also ALTHAIR. So if I had that one in, I'd be able to do a side-by-side, but as of right now, hasn't come in yet. Which means that as of now, before I get that one in, the one that I think is the best ALTHAIR alternative is this one. Lattafa also has one in their Art of Nature line, and it's pretty good as well, talking about ALTHAIR alternatives, but I think overall this one is a little bit better. Just really nails how ALTHAIR comes across, you know, very sweet, warm, edible, almost this gourmand aspect captured really well. Good performance, great quality, just one of the best clones on the market today. Next up, a fragrance from Lattafa. It is Mashrabya. This fragrance absolutely amazing for fall and winter time, and it is a Bikilian alternative, but it's not an angel share alternative or any of the fragrances in that style of bottle. This is a clone of Smokin' Hot. So it's a tobacco fragrance, tobacco and apple, and it smells absolutely amazing right off the rip as soon as you spray it on. It's sweet, a little bit spicy, very attention grabbing, fantastic quality, and it's strong as well. The stuff lasts a long time, projects really well. This is one that's been picking up steam as time has gone along. You know, people have found out about this one and they've checked it out and realized how good it is. It's not one that necessarily hit the same way as like, you know, Detour Noir or Liquid Brun or Camera when they first came out, but this is just as good in terms of quality. So if you like tobacco fragrances, especially the very prominent apple note, check this out. Like I said, fall and winter time can't go wrong. Now one from Dua, yeah. This is the Centaur Constellation. So through 2024, I picked up maybe 12 or so Dua fragrances, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about 12 or so. The last two I picked up were their alternatives to Delphinus and Centaurus, both from Creed. This is obviously their Centaurus alternative, and it is about spot on. Now there are some drawbacks with Dua compared to, you know, all the other really big brands out there. And the biggest one is looking at you right there in the face. It's a little bottle. You know, all these are for the most part 100 ml sizes, right? That's the typical size you would expect. This one is not. It is 34 milliliters. So yeah, roughly 1/3 the size. Now it is an extrait to parfum, does have good performance, and if you shop at Dua's website, they always have codes on there, like if you look at the very top of the website. So you can mark down how much it actually is gonna cost you, unless you just don't care, I guess, and you could pay the full rate. But once you get past that, the scent itself here, absolutely killer. If you like Creed Centaurus, this is gonna get you pretty much 95% of the way there. Next up, one from Gulf Orchid. It is Sweet Heaven Tobacco. And you can probably tell by looking at this bottle style that it is in that Angel Share Camera kind of wheelhouse. A little bit more toward the Camera side of things in terms of how it comes across overall. But it's not the exact same. It's done with a little bit of a twist-a-rooney, which is right there in the name, Sweet Heaven Tobacco. So this one is gonna give you a Camera-esque feeling, but with additional tobacco. And the way that it opens up to me, a little bit like these fruit strip candies, where it's basically just fruit pectin, like real fruit that they hammer out into like a little thin bar or sheet. Not like fruit roll-ups, the more like natural style, but kind of in that vein. It's a little bit like that, but of course with the, you know, the Camera vibe in there as well, the bit of spiciness, the warmth, sweetness, all that. It's really well done, kind of a cool alternative to fragrances in that style. If you want something a little bit different, you could go with that one. And then this one is really good also. This one is Sweet Heaven Cherry. And depending on who you are, this one might be like 10 times better than this one for you, or the reverse could be true as well. But if you just want to simplify this one right here, the Sweet Heaven Cherry, basically take that general idea of Camera fragrances in that style, then take a very sweet cherry note, pop that right in the top and make it really the most prominent part of the opening and kind of through the mid as well. And since the bottle looks super similar, how about this one next? This is French Avenue Royal Blend Vintage. I mean, if you look at this, pretty similar. I mean, right? Like, I'm just saying. So if you look at them individually, you'll be like, oh, that's pretty much the same bottle. Put them side by side and there are differences, but the design is like pretty similar, pretty much the same. The cap is a little different. And technically, the French Avenue bottle is very slightly taller. But anyway, Royal Blend Vintage. So this one is another By Kilian alternative, but it is not an alternative to Apple Brandy on the Rocks or Angel Share, anything like that. This one is an alternative to Old Fashioned. And Old Fashioned smells a little bit similar to another By Kilian, which is one of my personal favorites, Single Malt. So in a way, this one can be used as an alternative to both Old Fashioned and Single Malt. It's not quite as bold and in your face as a lot of the Angel Share alternatives are, because a lot of those, very heavy on the sweetness, the warmth, that gourmand feel that they have. They can almost overwhelm you with all of those sweet aspects going together. Not that they don't smell good, because they do. But this one, yes, a bit boozy, but definitely a little more grown up. Still smells great though. Let's do a Maison Alhambra next. Dark Door Intense. So with everything going on right now with Christian Dior, and by that I mean the constant shuffling and changing of fragrances, it's good to have an alternative to good old Dior Homme Intense, which is what this is. Because all I'm saying is with Christian Dior right now, I do not trust them to keep those wonderful iris fragrances around any longer than they have to. Look, I'm a massive Dior Homme Intense fan. I have probably more bottles of that fragrance than anything else that I own. I have a goofy amount. Am I ever gonna use them all? No. But I like them so much that having them makes me happy. And at the end of the day, when it comes to like your hobbies, collections, whatever, if it makes you happy, that's really what it's about, right? So anyway, that fragrance for me it's not even here. It's up there somewhere. That's where I put it. The pedestal is off the screen, okay? Some of the best stuff ever. And with that fragrance, when you smell it, you smell the quality. It's just, you know what it is, right? As soon as you smell it, it's got that effect on you. And for what it's worth, for a cheap fragrance, Dark Door Intense does a fantastic job of capturing most of the essence of Dior Homme Intense. Now, of course, it's not quite all the way there. If you want that, you gotta get the real thing. But really, isn't that the same with pretty much every clone fragrance? Yeah. But this one still gives you a great iris note right off the top. A little bit creamy, powdery, kind of makeup-y. The quality, really good for the price point. The performance, not so bad either. This is one of those Maison Alhambras where they did an amazing job, in my opinion, of capturing a very high quality fragrance, putting it in a very low price bottle. After that one, Armaf Checkmate King, which is Scandal Absolu from Jean Paul Gaultier. And that's another line that I like a lot, the Scandal line of fragrances. Scandal Absolu, my favorite so far. And this one does a darn good job of capturing what makes Scandal Absolu Scandal Absolu. It has that nice touch of classiness, just like Scandal does, but then it has this inviting, cozy, sexy sweetness as well. Really, really good for fall and winter time. Good performance, big compliment puller. The only drawback right now for this one is that at a lot of places, it's going for around $50 or so. And it's not that it smells lower quality than that. When you smell it, the quality is there. It's very well done. It's blended well. Doesn't have a weird off-putting opening, nothing like that. But it is something where, you just feel a little bit better if you pick it up for, I don't know, 35 bucks, something like that. And I have seen it pop up for $30, $35 at a couple of discounters. The problem is it sells out like that at that price point. So this is one where maybe if you don't want to jump in right away and spend that much money on it, file it away in the back of your head. And if you see that price come down, then you can scoop it up. It is really well done though. Absolutely fantastic. One of the better ones that came out all of last year in terms of clones. Then we have French Avenue Ether Extrait, which is another Parfums de Marly, and that one is Greenley, hence the green coloration. Now I bring this up every time I talk about this fragrance, but I feel like it's something that you need to know about. When I first got this, it was not good. So what I mean by that is when it first came in the mail, opened it up, sprayed it like I just did, it smelled like nothing. It was legitimately like alcohol scented paper with like the faintest, and I really mean faintest, little waft of a scent. And at the time I thought to myself, that has gotta be one of the worst clone fragrances or fragrances I have ever smelled. It really felt like what I had ordered was somehow screwed up and they just sent me something filled up with alcohol, rubbing alcohol or something. And at that time I was like, I have got to do a video on this because it is just rough. But I set it aside and I was like, I'll let it chill and come back to it, but there is no way that that is gonna be salvageable. Like that is, and I kid you not, I came back, I don't remember exactly how many days were between the first time I smelled it and the second time, but I sprayed it on again and it was 100% different. It came across essentially like Greenley, and I was like, this is, what?
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
I didn't see how it was possible because yeah, everybody talks about clone fragrances. A lot of people like to say maceration. We gotta let it macerate, boys. Or maturation. Gotta let it mature, right? Those aren't the exact same things, but who cares? You guys know what I'm talking about. And a lot of the time, there's not a huge change from when you very first spray it to a week, 2 weeks later, but sometimes there is, and it's huge. So that's my PSA for the 10th time with this one. If you get this in and you feel like it is trash when you first spray it on, let it sit, come back to it. It does a bang on job of giving you Parfums de Marly Greenley for a much lower price point. Smells fantastic for spring and summer. Another big compliment puller with big versatility. And then last but not least, Armaf Odyssey Limoni, or Limoni Fresh Edition. So this one you can get for a good price, about 30 bucks or so. Might even be able to find it for a little bit less depending on where you're looking, but somewhere around there. That's about what it's gonna be at as of this video. And this one, summertime, can't go wrong. Whew. Now I'm gonna hit you guys with some of the notes for this fragrance. So you have off the top, mandarin orange, lemon, bergamot, ginger, orange blossom, aquatic notes, tea, amber, and musk as it dries. And I'm a lover of citrus fragrances. I really, really enjoy them. And this one gives you a multitude of citruses. The quality is very good. The ginger adds a nice, fresh, spicy kick. Orange blossom and tea are very clean and have a nice punch as the fragrance dries that kind of gives you a little more than just straight up citrus. And it's a little bit reminiscent of Afternoon Swim from Louis Vuitton. It's not really spot on with Afternoon Swim, but I think if you like Afternoon Swim, you'll like this one as well. Kind of scratches the same itch you would use at the same time, stuff like that. And it's not that it's like completely removed, it's just, you know, not the exact same, kind of in the same wheelhouse. But you do have to like citrus fragrances. If you do not, you're not gonna like this. But if you do like citrus, gotta check it out. Well guys, that brings me to the end of this list. So let's go ahead and do a giveaway. Ooh, I will give away these today. Yes, continuing with my trend of I have gathered up a bunch of things, bought a bunch of things that I own and like, and I'm trying to give them away across videos as the year goes on. So what do we have here? Well, since this is a clone video, a couple clones. First up, French Avenue's Coco Morado. This is one of their newer releases, at least as of this video. Comes in the same presentation style as Liquid Brun over here. And this one is a clone of Oud Cadenza from Maison. Really well done, great quality on this one. The other one over here is by Luciano, and it's Majesty, which that is supposed to be a twist of Greenley. So they kind of tie in with the video, right? Kind of. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway for these two fragrances, just have to like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave a comment below. And in that comment, just let me know what your favorite clone fragrance is. It can be anything, whatever you like. Give me a little while to pick a winner with Random Comment Picker. I will usually pick winners across multiple videos all at once and then post them up together on the community tab. And then if you're the winner, you can hit me up and I will package those up, ship them out to you. So good luck. All right, guys, that will do it for me. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Try not to get sick. Everybody and their mom is getting sick, including me. So try to stay healthy. See you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.